President, the Congress and the Senate here have got to make a very fundamental decision, and that is, do we listen to the American people who are hurting today, to seniors who have worked their whole lives but who just cannot get by in what in many cases are meager and inadequate Social Security benefits? Do we listen to them? Do we stand up for and with the people who helped build this country, who worked the farms, who worked in our factories, who served us in the armed forces? Do we stand with them and expand?
A bunch of developments are being made on the Build Back Better bill. Checks worth up to $500 may be sent down next month, and the IRS has released a very important announcement for everyone expecting to receive a relief check this year. Here's some good news. If you are a resident of Virginia, taxpayers will likely get some money back this year. The General Assembly is expected to provide and approve one-time rebates to eligible state income tax filers, but lawmakers in the state are still debating how much the next round of checks should be worth. Unlike some tax policy proposals, this campaign promise from Governor Glenn has won support from Republican and Democrats. During his speech, the governor said, "We want to have the largest tax rebate in the history of Virginia. All of these tax cuts are designed to help Virginians who need the most, to get our cost of living down, to enable Virginia to compete with the states around us who are lowering their tax burdens." According to the House's bill, the larger rebates would remove around $1.25 billion in general fund revenue in the fiscal year 2023. That's $200 million more than the smaller proposal that would otherwise go towards spending priorities. It's good to see that some states are finally taking action on this. If you're waiting for a tax refund, there's still a silver lining. According to the agency's last quarterly adjustment, your tax refund may be accruing interest, and the rate jumps to 5% on July 1st. The IRS has 45 days after the filing deadline to process returns and send refunds. After that, the agency tags on daily compounding interest, tied to the federal short-term rate. IRS interest currently falls between 8.3% annual inflation, but it's still significantly higher than the average savings account. The U.S. Government Accountability Office reported the IRS interest payments ballooned to $3.3 billion in the fiscal year 2021, with a 33% spike from the 2020 for individual returns. The easiest way to check the status of a refund check is through the Where's My Refund online tool. The online portal shows 3 steps, and recently the IRS updated the portal to include 2019 and 2020 returns. But high call volumes have been an ongoing issue, with many taxpayers struggling to reach IRS agents. During the first half of 2021, there were fewer than 15,000 employees to handle over 240 million calls. That is one agent for every 16,000 calls. According to the National Taxpayer Advocate, it's been a difficult period for the IRS. President Biden is finally ready to take some big action for the American people. The Biden administration and lawmakers are working together to pass new executive orders. Millions of people will be impacted by this positive legislation. President Biden said that the country is going through an incredible transition away from fossil fuels through the high gas prices being experienced nationwide. The national average for a gallon of gas stands at $4.56 as of Monday, which is more than 40 cents higher than it was just a month ago. In parts of the country like California, the average price for a gallon of regular gas reached $6.06. Biden added during the press conference that his administration has taken steps to prevent the price of the pump from going even higher, such as the release of 1 million barrels of oil. Biden said, "What I've been able to do is keep it from getting even worse, and the price of gas at the pump is affecting a lot of families." The administration also announced that the Environmental Protection Agency will allow the sales of E15 gas across the country this summer. The president is calling on Congress to make companies pay fees on idled oil wells and non-producing acres of federal lands, aiming to incentivize new production. But a newly released poll shows that the Biden administration and its approval rating fell to 36%, marking its lowest point to date in a particular poll. A one-time check for the more than 64 million Social Security beneficiaries would come with a price tag of nearly $90 billion. Now, there are other measures that could help senior citizens as well. Some Democratic representatives have reintroduced a bill called the Social Security 2100 Act. If this were to pass, Social Security benefits would get a boost and implement a new indexing system to more accurately account for inflation. The proposal would also raise thresholds above which recipients' income including Social Security is taxed. According to Representative John Larson, the bill improves the annual COLA formula to better reflect the cost incurred by seniors through adopting a CPIE formula. He said in a statement the provision will help seniors who spend a greater portion of their income on healthcare and other necessities. Improved inflation protection will especially help older retirees and widows who are more likely to rely on Social Security benefits as they age. I believe it's a good decision for President Biden to send out more stimulus checks this year, If you guys agree, tell me in the comments down below. So there are new changes from the federal government, everybody, and it's just been passed. The IRS has announced that many Americans will have to pay back the $1,400 third stimulus check that they received last year. And that is some crazy news, everybody. Given the speed with which the IRS managed to get stimulus payments into people's bank accounts over the past 2 years, it should come as no surprise that some mistakes were made. It may have been as simple as a stimulus payment being sent to someone who earned too much money to be eligible. Whatever issue may be, you might receive a notice from the IRS if you fall into one of the following categories. So everybody, each of the 3 stimulus checks carried a strict income threshold. Once a person hit that threshold, their stimulus payment was phased out. Out of the millions of stimulus checks sent in 2020 and 2021, it was found that the checks were distributed to people whose income exceeded eligibility. So if you earned too much money to qualify for a stimulus check last year, you may have to repay back some stimulus money. Also, if you lived in the United States for years, paid income taxes, but are not a citizen, it's possible the IRS will discover the mistake and request a refund. So many checks have been sent, it's possible that a percentage of individuals received more than one payment for the same round. If you were eligible for the stimulus funds, but received more than one check during the first, second, or third round, it's important to note that the IRS may ask you to return these extra funds. But everybody, don't worry if you're unsure if you need to pay back the IRS. If the IRS spots a problem, they will just send you a letter. And according to the IRS, everybody, the average tax refund is noticeably higher this year. Now, of the 53 million individual tax returns that the IRS processed through March 5th, it issued refunds for almost 38 million. And now the average size of the refund this year is around $3,400. That's a 13.7% increase from the average $3,000 or $2,990 refund issued at the same point last year. But everybody, it's important to remind numbers may not predict where refund amounts may end up. By early 2021 of December, the average refund was around $2,800. The IRS is now expecting more than 160 million individual tax returns this year. That means the tax agency has processed around 1/3 of all the returns and is expecting the 2022 filing season collect previous federal stimulus checks. And according to Yahoo News, money has been paid out to those within that category who earned less than $26,000 in 2020. The program is being expanded in 2022.
That, I was just about to walk away here.
Carlos.
Yes. With that, it is my distinct honor to introduce Senator Schumer, who was a champion in making sure that we preserve the child tax credit in the Senate. It is not an easy fight, and we so deeply appreciate you being able to take this.
Also, Indiana residents may qualify for extra cash in 2022, and Marco reported that the Indiana state government posted a higher surplus last year, and the government wants to provide a tax refund worth about $125. And the good news for Florida school teachers this